I might be the problem.
We got here pretty quickly on the podcast here. We
I
have
am the
found out
problem.
that you
We've identified the issue.
This is therapy. Also, we solve problems here. So is there anything you'd like to
Center
work
is a cognitive behavioral therapy
Find your
studio,
center.
right?
Yeah, that's our secondary mission.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
good.
we're here to help people find their center.
Perfect.
So by the end of this, we'll
You
have
know
it all
what
figured
though?
out.
But branding actually is so much therapy.
Oh,
when
wow.
I went through that exercise of like working with our branding agency and having them really be like, so what are we doing? I feel like those first like 2-3 weeks of the project was truly therapy. Like I would be like, I'm not getting like the answer I need. What should I do? And they'd be like, go for a really long walk. And I'd be like, oh, okay. And then I'd like go for a walk. And then I'd like the tagline that we've used for, 4 years now just like pops in my head.
That's how it typically does, right?
Yeah.
When
You're not in
you're just walking and thinking. Yeah, no, I agree. Like, not to get right into like design advice, but like the first few weeks of our project, we do just like audits and stakeholder interviews. And
But
like,
audits of like these psychotic founders' minds.
yeah, no,
That's
we
what you're
just
really
finished one
auditing.
up, and it's like we like have to get to know you and like through Zoom sometimes, and it's like,
Right.
tell us your stories, tell us your your pain points, and like we had a call with someone really one of the most memorable sort of stakeholder interviews I've ever been a part of. The person took a shot at the beginning and a shot at the end, and it was
I mean, I can see the brand.
yeah,
I see it in my mind's eye.
yeah. You're like, okay,
I see it.
we're setting the
Yeah.
tone here, but no, it's true. You got to really understand it, and I think if you're working on any project and you're like the brand already exists, even if it doesn't, like you really truly have to get into the minds of the people that built it or the people that are going to build it. Kevin, do we want to start this podcast?
Yeah, let's do it.
We kind of already did, but we have a special guest here in the studio, live. Kevin, when it comes to sweet success, our guest has taken the candy world by storm with her innovative brand, Behave. With a knack for making treats that are not only delicious but healthier, she's proven that you can have your candy and eat it too. When she's not busy revolutionizing the candy aisle, you can find Mayssa behind the turntables or indulging in her guilty pleasure, binge watching her favorite shows, which we'll absolutely get into. Are you watching Love Island USA?
Don't put me on the spot like that,
Okay.
Alex. First thing.
Okay.
Okay.
She's a candy crusader on a mission to make the world a better place. Let's give a warm, low sugar welcome to the queen of confectionery, the founder and CEO of Behave, Mayssa Chehata. Welcome to the show.
Wow.
Wow.
I
Hi,
know.
guys. Oh my gosh. That was the most like, I feel like I'm walking out on the Olympic stage right now.
I know. Welcome to the
That's what I needed.
program.
Woo.
So
Yes.
you're also a DJ?
I DJ from time to time. I do.
Yeah.
Do you guys DJ?
Well, I don't.
No.
What would you? What's your opening track?
Ooh.
Now you're really being put on the spot. I just asked you.
Like
watch
if you were
Love
to
Island.
set the vibe right now, what
Yeah,
would you
yeah,
do?
yeah.
What would you cue up or spin?
And
if
we'll,
you
It's
will.
not that original, but I love to start them off in the summertime with Summertime by Childish Gambino.
Okay.
That's a good one.
I like to ease them in.
Okay.
So
Can I say I
something
really
vibey.
like that new Lithuania? What's it called? Not Lithuania. What's the Lithonia?
Yeah,
Is
the new Donald Glover.
Donald Glover song. It's like emo rock. Have you listened?
Emo rock
Have you
is
listened?
coming back.
I
Yeah,
have.
emo rock is back.
I'm
back.
not a big fan. But
You're
it's
not a
okay.
big fan?
I appreciate it. I
What?
like.
You
Donald
like rock?
Glover.
You don't like fun? You don't like having fun?
It's not my jam.
Okay, well,
It's all right.
listen, you did Kevin. So Kevin represents all young people.
I'm like 20.
I can tell.
He's 20. Yeah, he's in his 20s.
You're 18?
Yeah, yeah. So he didn't
I
live
miss
through
being
the
18.
sort of the 90s or when emo rock was actually cool.
Yeah, emo rock's new for him.
Yeah, this is the first time, so it'll take time.
Okay.
I just didn't like the song.
So back to the most important question here. Sorry, Kevin. Are we watching Love Island USA or not?
Okay, we are watching. I'm sorry. This is
Okay.
my I watch. I have shame about it. Like
Why do
this
you have
is
shame
something
about it?
I shouldn't. I know. I'm trying to accept myself fully in all parts and sides of myself, but I just feel like, there's people in the industry watching this and I don't need my investors to know what I'm doing.
That you have time to watch 50 episodes of reality programming?
I will say I got hooked in because of TikTok. So
Okay.
I was getting fed the content. I was like,
Yeah.
shh, can I curse?
So you're new here.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, this looks good.
Yeah.
So watch the opening episode. I was like, fuck, this is good. So I'm 8 episodes in, but
Oh my God.
I saw how much was left in front of me. That's the problem with Love Island. I'm pretty intrigued, But I was just like, I don't think I can make it another 50 hours.
Here's the thing.
I think I'm going to quit while I'm ahead.
You can and
I
you
can and I
will
will.
and you must.
I can and I will.
I just finished the finale. This is not my first rodeo. I've watched many seasons of Love Island USA. If there were more, I would watch it.
I feel like you got to do
Okay.
the opposite of locking in, right? You got to like, be on your phone and shit, right?
Yeah.
Is that how you? Because I don't. It's too much for me personally. Like I like it. I've been around when it's on, but
I
way
use
too much content.
But
for
I
me.
use that as my that's my unwinding time. So I don't want to be like work. Like I need to, and also I need to connect emotionally and spiritually with the characters. So I don't I would expect someone to respect my time and give me their full attention. So I feel like I owe that to Leah, Rob,
Yes.
Janae,
Mhm.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Stay locked
and
in.
the
Kendall.
others.
Stay
Yeah,
locked in.
Yeah. No.
exactly.
Kaylor.
My friends.
It is.
My besties.
It's only 36 episodes. So I just looked it up. So you're actually.
Just one work week.
Yeah, that's not that bad, and they go by pretty fast. And
Yeah.
I love reality TV. That's
Okay, love
my
that for you.
guilty pleasure.
Done. I love it.
And I've loved reality television for most of my life. And this season of Love Island, there's a lot of new welcome to the party, because there's a lot of people like yourself that are new to the show.
I've done one UK season.
Okay, so which one was that?
The one what was the one with the Italian guy and the Turkish woman?
Davide
and Ekin-Su.
Ekin-Su. That
Yes.
actually
Is a top season.
That's actually my second favorite season.
Is
of
season
all
3
time.
your favorite?
Of which one?
UK.
So I started watching UK from the most recent backwards,
Okay.
and I've watched USA now, all of them.
Okay.
I will say that season, the one that you just talked about, and this one of USA are my two
Oh,
favorites.
so I think I got the best ones. But people always say UK season 3 is a must.
People talk about UK
Right?
a lot. That's
I
actually
don't
how I
get
got
it.
into this. It's fairly
Yeah.
recent because I love reality television. Everyone's like, you gotta watch Love Island UK. I was like, shut up, I don't have time for this.
I don't have time.
Same thing. I was.
But you
I
find
was
the
just
time.
like you.
You find the time for the things you love.
Well, the thing for
And the
me,
people you
and
love.
this is my podcast, even though you're the guest. I use it to turn my brain off.
Yeah.
It's
same.
so important for me, not to get too spiritual, but like I need
Not to get too spiritual about Love Island.
not
but.
to- yeah, but it performs a very functional role in my life. It's not like I don't do drugs anymore. I don't, I don't drink a ton anymore. I don't party. And I'm trying not to eat like a shithead anymore. So all of my vices that I use
Yeah.
to like bring joy
Yeah.
and turn my brain off from spinning about work,
Yeah.
I'm now down to reality TV. And
I'm with
luckily,
you. I think that's where I'm at too.
the Lord has delivered.
Yeah.
And this season of Love Island USA is people are demanding that they like run it back. And
Oh,
like
wow.
they put them in like a house like
Put him
Jersey
back
Shore.
in. Yeah.
Because like
It's a great cast.
it's kind of the same. It's such a good cast, and it's kind of the
Yeah.
same thing where it's like like Jersey Shore wasn't meant to be like a forever show. Like they just put him in a house for a summer. I think they were meant to have a new cast the next season, but they were just so
yeah.
lovable.
But it was too good.
It was too good. They're still fucking
Yeah.
filming them.
Oh yeah.
Like
yeah,
they're
literally.
they've lived their whole lives on camera. So I think
No, this cast is so.
It's
I'm
fantastic.
definitely hooked. Okay, you know what? You just inspired me to not
right.
make the healthy decision to stop watching and to see it all the way through.
well,
to
thank
the
you for
end
coming on the
of-
show, Mesa.
There you
We're
go.
super happy. So let's. What other guilty pleasures should we talk about here?
Oh. You know, I'm like you actually. I really relate to that. I feel like I've been the last like year has really been like, fuck, let me get my mind and my body right.
Mm.
Like my guilty pleasure, my big guilty pleasure was definitely the sugar. Like
Okay.
that's, I mean, not to,
Yeah. So
not
what-
to infomercial myself.
No,
but
let's do it. Let's get into it.
So-
Behave is the company.
Behaves the company. But no, like, and I'll just start with actually answering your question, which is I've just been like such a sugar addict my whole life and someone who would really turn to that. Like I used to drink and party a lot too. That was kind of, my outlet. Really haven't drank much over the last few years and none at all this year. So I realized at the beginning of this year when I completely cut out alcohol, like the sugar intake just went up that much more.
Really?
Like even just in the first month of it, I was like, oh, wow. Like I'd been kind of on like a healthy eating journey already and had cut back sugar a lot. And suddenly I was back to just like full send, like having the binges. Because where I would have previously been like, okay, it's Friday night. It's been a long, hard week. Like
Yeah.
I'm spinning on something mentally or something at work is stressing me out. Cool. Let's go out and let's just party and rage.
Okay.
And I'll like hop back into work on Monday. Now I didn't have that. So then it was like, okay, cool. I'm going to like binge watch like, 3 hours of TV. I get to order whatever I want food wise, like full ice cream stock in the fridge.
Okay.
And then I just realized like the sugar was that like, not to make it therapy. This is going to be therapy. I'm realizing a lot of my podcasts turn into therapy.
Let's go there.
The sugar was the emotional clutch. It was, so the way, like, I feel like when you're having like a negative emotion, your brain is like looking for a way out. And that could be the alcohol, the drugs, the whatever. Like, there's so many things. And I just realized like the last thing left for me was the sugar. And it went so out of control. So then I did a sugar detox where I didn't eat any sugar, not even sugar from like no honey, no, like not even fruit. Nothing. Because I was very much like, oh, I have an addictive pattern. Even fruit, like if I had cut everything but the fruit, then I would have been eating like a full watermelon when I felt bad.
Yeah.
So cut it out completely. And when I tell you, like my life turned around in the span of 8 weeks.
Really?
Like
it was that noticeable.
Money was showing up, opportunities for my business were showing up, like physically have never felt better, spiritually, never have like been able to go deeper in my meditation. I mean, I've had this business for 5 years, but frankly, I was still eating like shit and eating a ton of sugar, even while building a low sugar business.
Okay. So really quickly, we like to play a game around here that we invented called Mount Rushmore, which you give your top 4 candies unranked, not including Behave. We're gonna. This is pre-Behave launching.
Pre-sugar detox.
Pre-sugar detox. You're binging on sugar. What are your top 4? And if you want, I'll go first because I had time to prepare.
You go. I'll go next.
So I think Reese's Peanut Butter Cup is probably my goat. It's just got to be on there. I go Reese's Peanut M&Ms is my probably number 2.
Good one.
I'm more of a savory guy, and so my sweets typically tend to go more salty, sweet than they do like candy. We should talk about Bonbon because that's another thing that I've gotten addicted to. Yeah. But I've cut that addiction. I was 2 bags a week. It was a problem. Mounds is like an old school fucking classic.
Yeah, you got a couple like grandpa candies on here, Alex.
You never hear Mounds. I talk to people about their favorite candy all the time. You're the first Mounds I've ever gotten.
Like other guys.
What is a Mound?
A Mound is like it's like a grandpa candy, but it's like chocolate covered coconut. It's like coconut pieces. And it's it's basically a fruit, right? It's coconut fruit.
Yeah, of course.
It's a health food.
It's a health food.
It's electrolytes. They
do give them away. Yeah,
it's actually a hydration packet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm bullish on coconut sort of a textured whatever.
I heard Huberman recommend them actually.
That's what he said. He said Mounds of the future. If you want to be in tip-top shape, no drinking,
heavily hydrated.
And my last one, which is actually crazy, I put Twizzler nibs. I don't know why. I just felt compelled to do that.
I feel like that's like a bonbon. Like it's left over from bonbon or bonbon adjacent.
No. I grew up, eating Twizzler nibs, like the little cherry guys. Those
you
things?
Like the nibs more than the full?
Oh, yeah.
Are they cherry?
Yeah, they're like cherry? It's a different flavor. No. Twizzlers and Twizzler nibs are different flavors.
Yeah, they are different.
I'll have to give them a go.
Yeah, give it a shot. Mayssa.
Okay, I'm gonna go. You said unranked.
Unranked,
so,
any order.
All right, just off the Twizzler, I'll play off that black Twizzler.
Oh wow, licorice.
The licorice Twizzler.
Interesting.
Damn.
Do you like
a licorice Twizzler.
Really salty kind of
twisted.
I don't like a super salty, like Swedish.
Yeah, like when you go to Bonbon, there's that section where no one goes to.
But I love the licorice that comes from Haribo that's in the wheel.
Okay, yeah.
So there's a few licorice ones that I'm definitely going for. I love a classic marshmallow out the bag.
Whoa, just a bag of marshmallows.
Like I love them toasted, but like they don't even need to be toasted. I'll just like
just chop them.
I'll sit and chomp them. I'll chomp. I feel
like marshmallows aren't that bad for you. Did I just make that up? Or
you made that up.
Okay. There's pure sugar.
Yeah. That's propaganda from the marshmallow lobby, and I know they hired you. I'm on to you.
All right, marshmallow.
Then I love a gummy that's white on the bottom, clear on the the sharks.
Like an egg, or a shark.
I love it. I love the egg. I love the shark, but I think my go-to is the mini frogs. You had the frogs.
Is mini frog. It's
a Haribo. Okay. I like a lot of the Haribo gummies, and then.
You know what Haribos I like? I like the sour sketties. You ever get those?
Yeah,
it's like a little bag, so you just throw the whole thing in your mouth, and you're just. Those.
But that's basically spaghetti, so it's actually just Italian food.
Pasta.
It's an Italian.
High in carbs, but yeah.
delicacy? There's so many. I have a lot of weird ones. I'll go for a kid's one. I would never eat this now, but remember Fun Dip?
Yeah, of course.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's
classic.
crazy.
You
Classic.
know,
Yeah, I know.
you were 1 year old when they
We're
discontinued.
probably like the same age.
Yeah.
The Fun Dip, dude. Fun Dip was cocaine for children.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it
I would
is.
fully.
They still make that, I think.
Yeah, I think they do actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
that
brought
shit's
it back.
messed up.
Oh, is
What
it
about
like
like the baby
so
bottles?
messed up. Oh, the
They're
baby
like
bottle
the-
wax?
I don't even no. They
No,
you could like
they
suck
were-
like straight sugar out of them.
Yeah. It was a lollipop in the shape of the baby of the nipple of
Yeah.
the baby bottle, and you would lick. It was actually like very
Sexual?
inappropriate. You would lick
Oh.
the top of the bottle, flip it into the powder, so it would catch the powder.
Yeah.
Suck the powder off.
And I'm pretty sure
I just looked
the
at
nipple
this.
was like it was like a better version of the Fun Dip. It wasn't like that chalky Fun Dip stick.
Mhm.
Well, actually, I don't know what.
No,
the
the
Fun Dip
top was
stick
a lollipop.
Yeah.
It was like a ring pop kind of vibe.
Yeah, that's what it looks
Crazy.
like here. I'm looking at a photo. I have never had this. I'm
You
just going to
never
say
had
this.
that?
I've never had a bottle pop.
There was like a whole, there was this whole, I mean, obviously we're having Brat Summer now, but like the real Brat Summer was 1998 because
Oh,
you
yeah.
just had like
Candies
a
were
ring
off the
pop
hook.
on your finger. You were like dressed as a
Surge.
Spice Girl.
Yeah.
You were drinking Surge
Yeah.
at the neighborhood pool for
Mhm.
sure. I
Yep.
think about Surge all the fucking time. I'm
Yeah.
so glad you brought it
My
up.
brother would give me Surge in the woods behind our house.
Not
like
the
a-
covert Surge consumption.
That's a perfect place to have.
I was very
Surge
small.
Is behind the house. Yeah.
I think about Surge so much.
think
They
of-
had it in the vending machine of our like neighborhood
Bring it
pool.
back.
They brought it back. They did.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, it's a Coke brand, and so at some point when,
Oh.
like in the 2000s or whatever, the internet was like demanded that they bring it back, and then,
Okay, yeah.
and they did.
Yeah,
It's a great
the-
brand.
The other brand that did that was Dunkaroos. Dunkaroos did like
Dunkaroos
a whole
are
big,
back.
like we're
Yeah.
back.
That Dunkaroos, that's my jam.
Yeah.
I have a note in my phone. I write it down like once a year. I'm just like artisanal high-end Dunkaroos.
Ooh.
Like I feel like someone should bring a reinvented modern.
I don't know. Have
Dunkaroo.
you ever had like
It's a free idea.
artisanal high end like Whole Foods like
Like
frosting?
biscotti
It's not as
kinda
good.
thing?
No, that's what I was gonna say. The reason you
Oh,
can't do
okay.
artisanal high end, and sorry, not to get on my like pedestal about
I know.
healthy eating, guys. You're all dying from the food we're eating, but you are.
No, we are.
And so that's why you can never make a high-end artisanal Dunkaroo because it will never taste as good. What makes your child brain addicted to it is the high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah, I mean, and listen, then it's just
And the
perfect the way
crack.
it is. Yeah,
It's perfect how it
yeah. The '90s were
yeah.
a great time for candy, and it's funny we talk about this a lot in
great
branding.
time for the pharmaceutical industry. as
Great
well.
time for candy and like candy marketing and like candy branding, like
Great time for insulin.
Gushers. Like literally, the commercials are like a surrealist
Yeah.
like acid trip where people's
Oh,
heads would
yeah,
explode.
the heads.
And we talk about this a lot. We're like, just because brands are healthy now, they should be able to have
No,
that kind
for
of
sure.
fun,
Yeah.
and that should, sort of be a perfect segue to behave. Because
Yeah, I love
so
it.
after this love of candy, actually, we didn't get Kevin's. Mount
Oh, yeah,
Rushmore.
Kevin.
What do you got?
I'll go Trader Joe's dark chocolate peanut butter cups.
Whoa, what?
Although-
fancy.
I mean, that's my
Trader
adult one,
Joe's.
but those are interchangeable with I'll take Reese's
Okay, fine.
Oh,
peanut butter
yeah.
eggs or peanut butter pumpkins.
What?
Oh, the
Got higher
pumpkins.
sugar.
Eggs.
Yeah,
higher
you're
sugar
right.
to make it stick together. I'll take a Snickers. I like a little protein.
Classic. You're
Take
not
a
you when you're
take a
hungry,
Twix, and then I'll take a
Kevin. Twix.
a
Interesting.
Hue Kitchen dark chocolate. Any Hue
Oh,
Kitchen
man.
dark
Hue
chocolate.
Kitchen.
It's new.
You gave the hipster answer.
Yeah, this is so like Bodega 2024.
I know you, and also like now we feel so bad.
Yeah, I'm
No,
changing my
I
answer to Tony's Chocolonely.
Yeah, exactly. It's fair trade, right?
I didn't know it was.
I think that's all bullshit. Didn't they like
Really?
myth bust that?
I don't
that
know.
like Tony's was
I don't
just
want to
like
talk bad about Tony.
No, me neither.
yeah, me
Shout
neither.
out
I
to
like
Tony's.
Tony.
Sponsor the pod. We love you.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
love Tony.
I went through a Tony's phase too.
Yeah,
before
I
my
like their
bonbon
product.
phase, and I just was like every night going
Yeah.
down to the bodega and getting a Tony's.
I
And
don't
it's
like how they're cut.
you don't like. No,
Oh,
I like
Get some
that.
on- like- It's hard to break them off,
It
and
is
then you
hard.
get fucking chocolate on your white couch, and then
I
it's
know.
there
I'm
forever.
so sorry that happened to you, Kevin.
Yeah.
It is hard.
Sorry, you have that
I relate
white
to
leather
that.
couch. Where the fuck?
You want to know where I got it? I brought it off the street, Alex.
Stop.
Is this for
Yeah.
your Miami house or your Brooklyn place?
My small 1-bedroom Brooklyn.
If
Brooklyn
something has
pad that I
touched-
share with my girlfriend.
If something has touched the sidewalk of New York, will you bring it into your house?
Hell yeah.
It's a yes from Kevin.
It's a no for me.
It's a
dog.
no.
We
Yeah,
bought
I'm
a cleaner.
sorry.
We cleaned it off. We bought like a Stanley.
Allegedly.
We got like a Stanley or some whatever the fuck those.
I saw a
vacuums
couch
are.
on Facebook Marketplace the other day and they were fully selling it and the photo was on the sidewalk and I was like, who's paying you for this now? It touched New York.
I take back what I said. I just bought a couch from a vintage shop and it was outside on it wasn't like someone
Like
left
on
it there.
their sidewalk.
Correct.
Though.
It was outside of Dream Fish and
Okay.
Tackle. Shout out to them. They have the best vintage stuff.
Our couch was on the sidewalk for maybe like 10 minutes. It was in.
Okay.
It was
So
a
then
move
we're-
out,
okay.
and then like we brought it in, and then we
Okay.
you know,
Okay.
So
we gave it a thorough
You
clean.
gave it. Okay.
And it
All right, I'll
wasn't like
give you
a
that
it
one.
wasn't a shitty couch. It was a decent
Okay,
couch.
okay,
yeah.
I'll give you that. Like it wasn't like,
It was like
you
an
saw it and
$800
you didn't
couch.
know how long it had
Okay.
been there.
No, it was
Also,
like
is
they
it
had
really
literally
leather?
just brought it out. No, it's not leather. No.
I was gonna
I
say,
wish.
I think you can get a little bit more away with leather because it doesn't really hold anything. Oh, that's a great.
Yeah. No, it's
fucking couch.
totally fabric.
I would lick actually the sidewalk under that couch.
Yeah,
to
that was a
own
no-brainer.
couch.
That was a no-brainer.
So
So
after shitting on Kevin,
sorry, we're not going to derail to couches. So you love candy. That's your sort of happy place when
Yeah,
you're sitting on your couch.
it is.
And so when did that light bulb moment happen where you're like, okay, I'm going to go on this journey to try to make a better version of candies that I love?
It was honestly the light bulb moment. I mean, like obviously there's the answer I give all the
We don't want that
podcasts,
one,
and
yeah.
I know exactly, and it is a true answer, which is like I had this crazy sweet tooth, like love junk food, love fast food. And actually the origin of that is not that I grew up eating really unhealthy. It's that my dad was diabetic. So we ate so healthy at home. Like we were not allowed any of the junk food. So as soon as I left home and had like $5 of my own, I was like, oh, I can like spend these $5 at the bodega on candy and eat all of it in one night. Like I'm allowed to now. And then I went off the rails with that. So then I sort of like at, in my mid 20s was like, I can't keep eating like this. Like I am going to be sick and I feel terrible. So started eating healthier and realized if you want to try to eat healthy, basically your options are like never eat candy again or, eat it and just like feel really shitty and fall off like the way you're trying to eat better. So I was like, okay, there's something missing here. But then the other thing was I was living at the time with, someone I was dating and he did a keto diet. This was like the peak keto moment, maybe
Hell yeah.
2017.
I was right there.
Yeah,
You were in it?
He was in ketosis.
You were in ketosis
I fucked it up,
all
yeah.
of 2017.
2018.
Yeah. It was right around then. And you know what I observed in him? He found like this keto chocolate. It was Lily's chocolate.
Yeah.
He found this keto chocolate and he would like go to Whole Foods. He'd go out of the way to get to the Whole Foods. And then he would buy, if they had like 4 cases on the shelf, he'd clear out the shelf. And I was like, this is really interesting purchasing behavior.
Yeah. You're like-
I'm so boring.
Yeah,
But I was like, the purchasing behavior is crazy. The LTV on these customers is through the roof.
It's crazy how many companies are built around just like people that work out and just
Yeah.
like are on crazy but not that crazy diets that just like dictate what they buy and then
Yeah.
they find something and they're like this ice cream like Halo Top or whatever.
Yeah,
It's like,
there was a
ah.
huge surge of like erythritol sweetened products
all
around
the
that time
erythritol
too.
stuff.
Yeah, because it was super hot. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
Ketosis.
I never really fucked with it that heavy, but like I don't
Yeah.
know.
I mean, because the erythritol is like really bad on your stomach. And then the study
Yeah.
came out linking it to stroke. And it's just like, fuck, I ate all that erythritol in 2018.
Yeah.
Damn.
So what is the sweetener in Behave? And we're gonna try it because you
Yeah,
were very
we're
very
a live taste
very
test.
nice to bring us some. I've
Yeah, of
actually never
course.
had it.
Okay, I'm
And
excited.
So we're gonna try it live.
We'll do
on
the
pod.
live. I
But-
know.
So what is in it? What makes
So yeah, we were very intentional to say like no sugar alcohols, which then presented like a very challenging R&D question of how do you take out sugar, which is typically like anywhere from 85 to 95% of a gummy. How do you take all of it out and what do you replace it with? So we use plant fiber. So it is a high fiber product.
Okay.
Fiber from chicory root, tapioca, and plantain. We
Sweet.
use like a
That's
mix.
good.
That also helps make it like not as harsh on the stomach. Some people are, sensitive to fiber, but it's an excellent source of fiber. And then we use monk fruit and allulose.
Nice.
All clean source, clean label across the board, no artificial colors, sweeteners. But I think it tastes great. And we have it on the sour products. There's a tiny bit, about 1.5 grams of cane sugar in the coating.
Nice.
Great.
So
How did you
still
go
get that
about
sweet
making
taste.
candy? Like for someone out there that's like, I want to start a company, but like I assume, I know you worked at like Daily Harvest and other places like doing brand building, but how does one start the journey of being like, I'm going to make a candy?
Yeah, get on your Willy Wonka type
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Lady
It was-
Wonka.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, that like I very much was asking myself the same question. Also, a lot of food founders are just like, yeah, I just like hopped in the kitchen and started playing around. Like I can cook a little now, but 5 years ago it was like absolutely zero.
Yeah, I mean also gummies
So-
are
Yeah,
And a gummy,
like,
yeah,
what are
there's
you,
like-
Claire Saffitz, like
there's
from
like-
Bon
right.
Appetit, like trying to
there's
make
like
your
all
own-
this food science that goes into it. So I came up with the like idea, or I was like, what would be great is if I could meet a celebrity chef. And I was like, obviously my marketing hat on, I'm like, kill two birds with one stone, find someone who's excited about the concept to create the first formula and the product and help do the flavor development. And then also like use them from like a marketing and PR perspective to promote the brand and build it into the story that we didn't just make this like in a lab with like an R&D person. We like actually cared about how this was going to taste.
Kevin and I are trying them.
Fire.
They're great. Yeah. They
Stop.
taste, they
Yeah,
taste
really
like
good.
candy. They do not.
I don't know why Kevin's opinion just mattered so much to me.
I love that for you.
I really
agree.
meant a
Well,
lot.
I love to eat.
Yeah, no. And
Yes,
Kevin
I
is
love
like
it. And
a
yeah,
real
and you-
foodie, and he,
right.
you know, and he's
And
not
I
a
feel like you were
bullshitter.
in the keto train, so you like tried all the like shitty
He's
low
not a
sugar
bull-
stuff.
He's not a bullshitter, and he's not a faker.
Yeah. The
Uh,
ingredients are nice too.
Let me get high on my own supply right
Yeah,
now. 'cause
so
you know what?
these are
It's
great.
making me hungry.
Give these ones a go, Alex.
The different flavors, right, inside of a bag.
Yeah,
I
so
love
the
that.
bears that Kevin had are watermelon, mango, and lychee.
Whoa.
Is it lychee or lychee? I
Lychee.
should know. It's my own.
I believe it's
And then the stars are raspberry, pineapple, apple.
great. Really, really good.
Here, Kevin, you can try some stars.
I don't taste any like
Aftertaste.
monk fruit
Yeah.
taste. Like sometimes that messes with me a little bit on some products that I won't name into a microphone. But I love stevia. This is a known fact through the studio, and I put stevia in a lot of things.
Really?
It's in my coffee.
I was gonna say you'll like do put it in the coffee.
Mhm.
My dad's like that too. My dad's diabetic though, so he has like a high tolerance for sweeteners.
Amazing, really, really good. And
Wow, that means
I'm
so
really
much,
excited
guys.
about this
Thank you.
because
Now you're like, wait, it's actually good. Too,
now
and I
I'm gonna
totally give
actually
you
buy it,
credit.
and I'm going to support you.
Oh,
Like-
like now I'll support you now that I know it's not trash. But I actually will like let you guys have that because so many health food products really do not taste good. And you know what? I'm gonna out myself and say it took us a while to get here, and it was not like I don't
first
know if we
products.
would have had this reaction like a year and a half ago because you know what happened is that our first formula we put into market was bomb. Like everyone was like, holy shit, this tastes incredible. The fiber balance was a little off. It was a little too heavy on the fiber. So we were getting that feedback from some customers that like, you know, oh, like this was a lot of fiber. Like I was kind of gassy all
There
day.
were some
or
results
like
that
maybe
you
a
were
little
unintended results.
Yeah. Some like, I mean, some GI, you know, definitely clear your GI system, but
There's nothing wrong with that.
there's nothing wrong with it. Like it's a natural source fiber. Like it's good for you. And most Americans, I think it's like 85% of Americans don't get enough fiber in their diet. So we were like, look, like it's, you know, you're fine. It's just like a lot of fiber, especially if you're not typically getting enough. But then we like reworked the fiber, like redid the formula, and then the taste was off. And we were getting that monk fruit
Got
aftertaste
it, yeah.
on V2. And that was just like, it just wasn't there. So then we went into formulating V3. We brought in a PhD confection. Actually, I didn't know this was a job, but PhD confectionery scientist. So she's like a food scientist that just does candy. She did the formula for V3, and now we're just like so excited.
That's awesome.
It's
But
incredible.
my point was like, I get it when you guys work in branding and you work with food and CPG products. Like
Yeah.
a lot of times you probably have to sit across from a founder and be like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Keep going. Perseverance is the key in the food business.
Yeah, like I won't name names or
Yeah,
clients,
no,
but yeah,
don't.
we've had some where they're like, you know, we work on the product for a while, and then it's like we haven't tried the products yet, maybe because they're in development or they're still working on it,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, it's gonna be this, and then all of a sudden they're like, we're gonna do a taste test, and then we tried, and we're all like, yeah, and then like as soon as they leave, everyone's like,
Yeah.
no,
No.
that's a
Yeah,
problem.
that
That's
Yeah.
also, I will say this. And this is we love Snack Shot, we love Andrea.
Yeah.
And Kevin and I talk about this sometimes because we go to all of her events. We support her. She's been on the pod like 3 times. She's a legend in this.
Yeah,
in,
she
in-
really
in the
is.
food and bev game. And we've been friends for years. You go to those events and you try all these
Yeah.
beautiful designed
Yeah.
products, and you meet
Yeah.
all these really sweet and innocent and kind founders that want to build the next CPG brand.
Yeah.
And like more than half of them taste terrible. Like you're like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna drink that again.
Yeah, and I promise I'm not an asshole. I'm only sitting here being like, yeah, their
No, you're
products
honest.
suck because but I'm saying it because I was that founder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was
It's hard.
It's hard
and
to
it's
make great
really
products.
hard, and especially for us because it's like it's not like I came out with a really shitty product. Our first product was good, but we were forced to sort of reformulate, and it was the right thing to do, and we had to do it to like show up for the customer in a better way. And then so it was like great first product that we were really excited about, like really strong launch, and then we almost had to like have these 2 weird years where we were like finding our footing again. And I was that founder walking to events being like, and look, our second product wasn't bad. It just was like, it was very 50-50 if someone loved it or like really didn't like it or care for it. And I just was like,
well, you don't want to
it's
sacrifice
hard,
because like a candy brings joy, right? Like that's
exactly.
the key to it. And
it
if
has to.
like, I don't care how good it tastes for you or how good it's for you and how low the calories are or whatever. It's like, if it doesn't taste like candy, then it doesn't serve the role of candy.
100%.
And 80 calories is really good.
I know, right?
Like in a bag that has like, you know,
and the net carbs are like under 5.
Granted, I haven't
keto.
eaten a full meal in months, but like this tastes so good to me.
Are you on a diet? What's happening? Are you okay?
I'm a bit on a diet, but it's working. It's working for me.
No, anorexia always works, but in the wrong way.
Yeah, just count your calories, kids, and work out every day until you
6 hours a day.
Yeah, they rebranded it to fasting.
Fasting.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I'm fasting.
Honestly, a top rebrand was eating disorders into fasting.
Yeah,
and into biohacking.
I rocked a 24-hour one yesterday.
What?
Yeah, actually, I felt pretty sweet.
No, or how many guys? Like, I used to go to this gym, and the guy who ran the gym would do like 5-day water fast, and I'm like, that's just
crazy.
Anorexia for a week.
They say it's good for you.
That's right. Yeah, this is a hot take. That intermittent fasting is just anorexia rebranded.
No, intermittent
is it
fasting
a hot
is
take,
like,
or is it?
No,
you only eat a certain
facts.
amount of hours in the day.
Yeah, like 2 hours of the day.
Yeah, okay. I guess I'm not super familiar with.
I don't even know.
Disorders.
We should not be advocating for ED as like
Sorry.
a way to just like be a healthy tech bro. It is not.
I think you're right, and I think it's important that we talk about that. And like,
I don't know. I was feeling feral off the 24-hour fast. I was feeling really good.
Yeah. But now, what do you
sharp.
eat today? How do you come back from
Yeah,
it?
I was. Gonna, do you
today?
like rebound out?
Today I had 2 eggs, and then like some shitty salad.
You stayed level. Okay.
Yeah.
You didn't
Okay.
like go crazy.
No. I went kind of crazy last night where I had like 3/4 of a chicken and
But that's
Dude,
still
you're fucking
that's
crazy.
still healthy.
We were
clean
at like
food.
a
I mean, like a McDonald's or
Yeah,
like a
no,
Domino,
no.
full
No,
Domino's
no.
pizza.
Ooh.
That's how I act.
I was gonna
after.
say, what's your like crazy cheat meal like food? This is a question I always like to ask.
I really have cleaned up my eating a lot in the last year.
That's fair.
So, but like prior to that, I would alone. I don't even want to admit this. I would alone order like a full Domino's pizza
Fuck,
and
yes.
then the wings.
Yeah,
Damn.
And
yes. I'll join
a
you.
cherry Coke.
A cherry Coke was fucking incredible.
And like,
Yesterday, people give me a hard time saying cherry Coke and Dr. Pepper and cream soda, root beer. These things were trash. These things, like those are my.
No, you were
favorite.
dogging lemonade though.
I mean, I think lemonade is trash. How about that for a hot
you don't
take?
like lemonade?
Lemonade is one of my least favorite beverages.
What about a sparkling lemonade? What about like a mint spark? Like what
I don't
about
like
something with a little
mint in my
vibe going?
drinks.
Oh
like
man,
I don't want lemons.
Okay.
I don't know. It's just I just don't want to drink it,
fair enough.
and I don't know why. It's just maybe something inside of me.
It's a ton of sugar, so avoid it. Like regardless.
But like iced tea, if like I don't understand people put lemonade in their iced tea. It's like
I was
that
gonna
just
say,
made it
but-
worse.
no, that makes
lemonade is
that
trash.
makes it better.
What are you talking about?
Arnold Palmer.
I'm ready to join you on your Domino's admissions.
Okay, yeah, go
Ready
for
because
yours.
in my
What's your crazy?
in my fattest sort of most unhealthy moments of my life, I would order a Philly cheesesteak Domino's pizza.
I love that for
Goddamn.
you.
Which is literally disgusting. It is like fake steak and like provolone and like peppers, and I would literally sit in my apartment by myself and eat that, and then sometimes get like wings on the side.
Yeah, the
of
wings
that.
on the side. Is
And I
important.
was over 300 pounds, and it is a dark time in my life.
No, and I was
But,
gonna,
you
and
know,
like honestly, we make a joke about it, but like this is what I was kind of talking about before is like, not to make it so serious, but like honestly, we like you really do realize, I think, especially when you're coming out of it, how connected to your emotional state the eating was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you, and I resonate with your story because growing up, my father was a dentist and had his own practice and retired just a couple years ago. And so in my house, Gushers banned,
Yeah. Oh,
Fruit by the Foot banned,
tyranny.
gum not allowed.
Oh my God.
And so whenever I'd go to my friend's house and they had Gushers, I was like,
Yeah.
forbidden fruit.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, yeah.
It only made them taste that much better because I didn't have them a lot 'cause they
Totally.
would get caught in my teeth and
Yeah.
never had a cavity. So it was for me similar, but I don't know. It just I guess I never really got into it. Like
Yeah,
I just never became fully addict. I went more for carbs,
For salty
pasta, sandwiches, pizza.
And also just quickly on Domino's, I had a friend who worked at a fashion tech company in New York. Everyone there was like an elitist New Yorker fashion person.
Yeah.
And they did a pizza test where everyone had to bring in their favorite New York pizza. And these are like new, the socialites of New York were running this company.
Okay.
I won't name names, but anyways, like they were like born and bred like wealthy New Yorkers, and they did this taste test, and my friend and it was blind test, contributed Domino's to the test. Guess what won? There were like 20 options.
No way.
Guess what won?
There's no way.
Guess what won?
See, Domino's is
Just guess what won?
Domino's did not win.
Guess what won?
No.
And everything was there. They had Ruby Rosa, they had Lucali, they had like
There's
had Joe's.
This is not a real thing that happened.
I swear on my life.
No, because everyone would just be
The
like, that
Domino's-
tastes like Domino's. And everyone with the like,
No,
the-
but these
the
people had never had
flour-
Domino's before.
Why had they never had Domino's?
Or like
before?
they weren't Domino's connoisseurs like us, where we would immediately clock the Domino's. And this was also, I think, around the time where Domino's had just changed the crust to have that garlic. Remember that? You know how Domino's is one of the best performing stocks of the last like 10 or 15 years, and I contributed to that garlic crust.
Yeah, no.
That garlic seasoning on the crust changed everything for the U.S. economy.
Can I tell you, during COVID, I was, I went through it a little bit, and I just kind of
we all did.
went to my darkest eating
Yeah,
behaviors,
yeah.
and to be honest, I'm just coming out of it now.
You look great.
Thank you. I'm down 44.8 pounds.
Let's
Not that
go.
I'm counting.
Really?
Yeah.
Since when?
Since January 13th, 2024.
I love that for you.
Um,
You looked great before. You look great
thank
now.
you. This is not about me, but
It is.
yeah, I went back in the pizza. I was ordering pizzas, of course, like Brooklyn better, great pizzas. But one night I was like, let me just go for that sweet juice of Domino's, and it didn't hit. It really, it just like it felt gross.
Yeah,
it just felt like I had like maybe like one slice that I was like, oh, this is good. Oh yeah, and then the second one was like, ooh, and then I ordered like a couple different pies, and it was like some deep dish stuff or whatever. It was just like it just did it. It just I was grossed out by myself.
Yeah.
Like I guess it felt like a relapse of some sort. Where I was like, I'm moved past this, and I'm on to the
I'm on a new path. I'm on a new path.
I'm on a new path.
If I'm eating pizza, it's gonna be like the fine. No, and I feel you. Like, and I
finest, but like I need quality.
Yeah. But when I was in like definitely like, and I can now look back and be like, yeah, those days when I would like sit and eat an entire Domino's pizza and a whole thing of the wings, probably wasn't like feeling great about myself. So now that I'm kind of like coming out of that and like eating cleaner and like taking care of my body and my mind in a new and different way, I agree. Like it's hard to stomach some of that food. And there's probably a little PTSD too. I'm like, it kind of snaps you back to like that day with like the TV light of like The Dark Knight. I don't know. I was always like watching The Dark Knight on like a really sad day, like full Domino's pizza in front of me.
Yeah.
I had an and pizza moment too. I was doing like the and pizza.
Okay. Yeah.
Just because it was 15 minutes to deliver on Eats.
Yeah. I've actually never had that. It's the LeBron one, right? He owns
They
it.
have a bunch of like celebrity investors and I thought the pizza was good.
Kind of like a flatbread looking thing.
Yeah, it's a little flat.
When was your last Domino's?
Yeah.
I could pull up the app. I definitely like it. Definitely, it's been more than 6 months.
All right,
that's good. 6 months.
6 months clean.
Yeah.
6 months clean.
Speaking of celebrity investors, I saw that you have a new one in Busy Phillips, which is very exciting.
Yeah, we're so excited.
She's amazing. Girls Five Eva, the best show ever.
She's so great. Yeah, that just came like, and I'm so happy with how it even like behind the scenes how it all came together, because I think we've always had this idea that like there's a lot of ways we could build celebrities into our brand, right? It's just like candy. No, but people. Okay, sorry, Alex is like pushing the candy bags away from him, but this is the whole point. Like people.
No, I had two. I was just sharing.
Oh, sure. Okay.
I didn't want to be the guy that was.
No.
Like,
I was, but people are so. People really have this like training in their mind where it's like, I'll watch it happen. Yeah, they'll like eat half the bag and they'll be like, get it away from me, and I'm like, no, finish the whole thing. Like truly, it's like even with this because of the sugar, like you're not even gonna have that like sugar crash you get after eating candy. You're not gonna like that mental crash, like that brain fog that you get after a full bag of candy. You don't really get that with this.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
$1 million. Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep eating into the microphone.
Yeah. I'm
so Busy Phillips, like a perfect ambassador, like brand fit. And she had a great quote in Forbes, and I pulled it out here. It said, when they reached out to me through the team and said, we're looking to have someone come on, I was like, I know this candy. I have this candy in my pantry. Yes, I would like more of it for free.
Yeah.
Which is like, that's perfect. Because like, that's not
Yeah.
bullshitting. Like, me and this celebrity, we were the, sort of
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's been a part of my life forever. And it was
Yeah.
like, I always find that those things are fairly,
I'm a co-founder and I sat in the kitchen. Yeah,
it's
totally.
like, no, you weren't there. You weren't a part of this thing, or like you just bought someone's paying you to say it, but that feels very organic.
And busy's so real too, where like, I think, and we never went down that route because I've done a lot in the celebrity and startup space, so I have like very strong opinions and many hot takes. We can go down that road if we want to about like celebrities partnering with startups. So I always knew I didn't want to do like a fake co-founder situation, 4 years into the business. But let me add to that like Busy is so not the type of person that like we could have been like, hey, and now you're going to be our like pretend creative director. Like she would have been like, no, I don't want to like sell that out when it's not true. Yeah. She's just such an authentic person, which we love. And and speaking of like how it all came about, for me, the litmus test for if we should even like explore a celebrity conversation was when we got in touch with someone's team, or like people have reached out to us over the years. It's like, all right, we'll send the gift out. And then I want to know that person asked their like manager, agent, however we got in touch with them, like, can I get more candy? That was the litmus test. Great. Not us like chasing them down. I think if you have to chase a celebrity down, you're already starting off on the wrong foot, and you're gonna be chasing them down for the entirety of your partnership. And that's like the last thing you want in your business is a drain of like trying to track down the person that you just gave like a ton of equity and probably some cash to get involved with. So that was something that we were really mindful of when we decided like, okay, this is the year we want to bring in a celebrity, which was we kind of started that process like about a year ago. We were really mindful of like, we need their first reaction to the candy to be like, holy shit, send me more.
Yeah.
So,
and it's got to like you said, it's got to fit into their life. It has to fit into the brand. And like, you have to like, I don't know, like be very thoughtful as who you're kind of aligning your brand with. And it's, it can go really well.
Yeah.
As someone that was a part of, Smart Water and Jennifer Aniston and like 50 Cent and Vitamin Water, like if you find the right perfect partner that represents your brand and can like bring it to the masses in a big way, like really does help and moves units.
Yeah.
But if it's fake and it doesn't feel right, it feels like it's just a cash grab, or that person does something crazy and they, sort of get canceled or whatever, there's a lot of, stories and things that we talk about on the show sometimes of like celebrity partnerships and things that just kind of like go wrong, or just things that just aren't like, it just feels fake. It just feels like you just paid this person to show up. And
also like the era of like the 50 Cent Vitamin Water deal, like no one was doing it. It was so like, I remember like seeing those articles that like 50 Cent like owned a portion of Vitamin Water, or that he was an investor or something. And it was like, oh, like we've never seen that before.
People thought he was my boss.
Oh, really? Yeah. People were like, oh, you just like work for 50.
I was like, I work for Vitamin Water. And they're like, cool. What's it like working for 50 Cent? I was like, it's pretty sick. Tony Ayo's around a lot, but Lloyd Banks is like he's actually my manager. No.
Whereas now you could literally name a celebrity the CEO of the company and they would be like, I doubt you've ever even met that, because now the percent, like it's become so overrun. And I hear that. I think Jessica Alba has said that a lot. She's like, people, and I think Jessica Alba, from what I understand, like actually has been in the office of the Honest Company for whatever has gone down, with that business. But she has had to speak out and be like, because of how overrun like this celebrity partner thing is, people literally think I just like slapped my name on the company. And she actually has been in the day-to-day running the business. And she's like, people are always like, why aren't you acting? And she's like, I've been running the Honest Company.
Yeah.
So that I
successfully
think,
so
absolutely.
And she was
obviously
early.
Very early. And
right.
So much sexism and other stuff probably built into the perception around that, but we just wanted, I think it's really important to like be authentic. Also, speaking of like people getting canceled, make sure you have like a reputation clause in your contract. That's a thing of like, if you go ape shit, that like your contract can be terminated.
Whoa.
That's
you have to be careful.
That's what happened to 50 Cent actually.
I mean, you see it happen all the time.
After Coca-Cola bought Vitamin Water, and then 50 said some crazy shit online because that's what 50 Cent does. And then they were like, that may have been okay with a Glasso independent beverage company from White Sun, Queens.
Yeah.
That doesn't fly for the Coca-Cola company. Atlanta, Georgia.
Right.
So
New standards unlocked.
So these products are amazing. My bag is done.
I love it.
What are we doing? What are we doing next? So we've done gummy bears, or like how many products do you sell now? And are you innovating? Like where do you take it from here?
So we have 4 SKUs in market. We have the stars. They come in regular and sour. I only brought sour candy today because
we appreciate that.
I love sour.
I
And then so stars come in regular and sour. The bears come in regular and sour. We have other like flavor combinations and shapes and things coming down the pipeline. Stay tuned. Something really exciting dropping like in September. And then we'll do a plant-based gummy. So something actually about our product that is really different from a lot of the other healthy candies out there is that we are a gelatin-based gummy. Almost all the other health products went plant-based. That's why they get stuck in your teeth because it's a starch-based candy. That's also why they're not keto-friendly. Speaking to Kevin as the keto ambassador in the room. Because the starch-based gummies, typically the starch is contributing to a high carb count. And so they'll be low in sugar, but they'll still be like 18, 20, 22 grams of net carbs. So you're still going to spike your blood sugar. You're going to get kicked out of ketosis. So we avoid all of that by using a gelatin base on our gummy. That also, most importantly, gives it that like Haribo texture, like that true gummy texture that I feel like you just don't get a lot of times when you're eating a healthier, like some of these healthier candy snacks. With that said, we will do a plant-based version that's like in the pipeline. We've already developed it for that plant-based customer. And then like we want to just go apeshit. Like the really fun thing about having Elizabeth, the celebrity chef who I partnered up with in the beginning to do our R&D is like, she is always like, she's truly like Willy Wonka energy. Like every time I go see her, she's like, she brings me like a little like truly like drug dealer style, like plastic baggie with something that she just like whipped up, and it's like the best tasting, chocolate wafer, like toffee centered something that I've ever tasted. So we have a lot of stuff that we've already developed. I will say, building out the supply chain and getting this to work. Like I said, we've gone through multiple rounds of formulation. We've like really spent a lot of time understanding our customer and what they wanted from this product. It has taken us like a lot of behind the scenes work to get this to where it is. So we just want to really focus and blow this out of the water, the gummies. And also the gummy market is massive. It's like the second largest candy market behind chocolate. And so we want to there's so much space in this to tap into. And then obviously chocolate is a whole new supply chain, right? Meltable. Manufacturing is completely different from the gummies. So I mean, I will say like you'll be seeing a lot of gummies from us for now.
You still got room. Like there's plenty of room in the gummy territory.
Totally.
I love peach rings, Haribo peach rings,
We might have some peach.
I think that
we may be playing around with some peach. But we don't want to do a ring. That's another thing for us is like we want to do things that are a little out of the box. That's why flavor wise we do like pineapple and mango and things that like lychee, like things that you don't necessarily always see every day. So we're like, okay, I don't want to do the peach ring. I want to do
something.
I'll tell you guys after,
different.
But we have some fun,
that's
ideas.
It's fucking sick that you're just like I get to run a candy company,
right? Isn't it?
You're like I just make stuff up and like you could really invent any type of candy you want and that just sounds like a lot of fun to me.
I mean, it's also. Yeah, I have to remember that because like I still definitely have founder depression and anxiety and hate. There was like a 2-year period where I was like, I literally hate this so much. If I'm just being full transparency. But now I'm back on a wave of just like feeling really excited and feeling like we got through that. Like we had to like rebuild a lot. And that was just like digging our feet in and like weathering a storm basically and surviving through it too. Like then you have to still keep your business afloat while you're trying to like pivot. But we do make candy at the end of the day. So I really shouldn't complain too much.
Yeah. How good is the surge of bonbon TikToks for your business? I imagine that's a good thing, right? People are talking about candy. People want candy more.
People are like really living for candy on TikTok. I'm excited for us to like spend a little more time on TikTok. We haven't really like dug into that in a big way yet. So, but I'm like rising tide lifts all boats across the board. I mean, of course I have some strongly held opinions about like feeding people that amount of sugar and like pushing that out as far as like the state of health and like now this conversation that we're having around Ozempic and just like the state of our health as a country and as just like a human collective and what the sugar really does to us. So, but you know, I'm also not a person who's like, don't ever eat sugar again. Like it'll kill you. And I love a bonbon from time to time.
Yeah.
So.
And those bags, if you fill up a bag and you eat half of it in a night, like that's not great. That's not great.
But that's what I do.
But it's incredible.
Probably
like,
the whole bag.
These guys in the studio know that I am just a fiend. Like, it's like, and this is coming from someone that doesn't really love that like kind of like candy as much.
You don't need it.
And it's just like, I don't know, there's some things out there that they're whipping up that I've never had before, you know? Some things that really they hit different. I just remember that we're a design podcast, so we probably should talk about your branding because your branding is fantastic. It was done by the good people over at Gander.
Thank you.
And so just quickly there, how did the name Behave? Like, where did that come from? Because it's a great name.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And we should just say it's a great name. It's a great brand. It's a great design. I remember the first time I was on the website, flicking those little gummy bears around to me.
Little game at the bottom.
Yeah, and I just was like, this is a cool brand that I want to be a part of instantly.
Oh my God. Thank you for saying that. No, that means a lot. And obviously all the credit is due to our great partners over at Gander. So the name, it's so funny. I was like with a friend who's also in the food space years ago, like 2 years before I even launched the business. I kind of started like, I was like, I have this idea. I feel like no one's doing this in candy. I was working at Daily Harvest at the time. So I was in the health food world. I was like, I feel like no one's really touched this like candy, better for you candy. Like I want to work on it. And my friend is someone who just like jumps right into action. So she like pulled up a laptop and was like, let's give the project a name. And then like, we're going to get like a brainstorm doc going. So you can just like start throwing ideas in this doc. And we just like threw a couple names around and the name Behave came up. I want to say like it was from her even probably. Shout out Jessica Young, actually, who I used to work with at Daily Harvest. She was the executive chef there. She now runs Bubble Goods, which is like a great marketplace. Great.
I know Jessica.
Yeah. Great brand discovery platform.
Jessica.
Big shout out to Jessica. Like she just was like, girl, like just get the doc going and start getting your ideas down on paper. And the name Behave came up in that. And we like literally was just kind of using it as a placeholder name. But I was like, also great. It's a great name. Like one word to the point.
Simple.
So went to Gander to start our branding exercise and was like, we don't need naming. We already have a name. It's Behave. Then when we started the initial kind of brand strategy, they did raise the concern, which is that we knew that we wanted the direction of the brand to be fun, lighthearted. We did not want to go in the direction of like diet foods, weight loss foods, like the type of product you would envision on the shelf of like a vitamin and supplement store. We wanted to feel like a product you would find in a candy store. Yeah. And we were very intentional about that was the direction we wanted to go in. And they raised the concern that the name Behave maybe feels like it falls in that other category of like, now you can behave yourself. And it like, obviously we also wanted to make sure that we were being inclusive from like a, body positivity standpoint and that we were really like welcoming everyone into our brand universe, that this wasn't a product that was for like a bodybuilder, CrossFitter who like doesn't eat any sugar and is fully keto for 10 years. We love that person, but we also love someone who like does indulge and does eat candy and is on like a different type of journey with food. And we didn't want to come across as this like authoritative brand that was telling people to behave. So we started actually at like a naming exploration because I was open to that. Maybe we should. And it's like, naming a brand is so fucked up.
Oh yeah.
Don't ever make me name a brand ever in my life.
That's what I'm saying. But Alex keeps making me do it.
No, I like fire Alex because that is bullshit.
But no, it's a really hard thing to do.
I heard now even more so because I think the barrier to starting a business became so low and then it all became so digitized during COVID. Like even all the government processes to start a business became so digital. So like every trademark is like to the extent that it was hard to get a trademark when I was starting this in 2018, 2019 really. Apparently now it's like a million times harder. Like everything has been trademarked. And so, and we knew going into the naming exercise that we could get the trademark for Behave.
That's incredible.
So you should just,
right.
So we'll go with it.
And we went, and we went down this rabbit hole and it was like, I went to this like really dark place. I was like, and this is also the thing with being a first-time founder that I will say, like I used to have such a chip on my shoulder that like, what's the big deal about being a first-time founder? But this is the issue with it is like everything feels catastrophic. Everything feels like it's the end of your business. And I remember we were struggling to land on a name and struggling to find something that we could go with and get the trademark for and then you get the domains and get all the things. And it just felt so catastrophic. So just like mental health note, if you're like in your first business, like these things that feel so monumental, like most of them really don't matter that much in the end, you get through them. But so much credit to Gander, because then I told them, I was like, I don't know about, I kind of feel like we should stick with Behave. They came back with this incredible idea to strike out Behave. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, immediately fucking yes. That is so on point for us. It's so tongue in cheek. It's so like
rebellious,
like middle finger to the man. That's like exactly what we wanted our brand to feel like. So it just like came through so perfectly. And I'm so happy about just like the word mark we landed on and the name. And like, we have not had anyone come to us and be like, you know, interpreting the name the way we didn't want to interpret it. And I think the strike through just like totally hit that home run for us.
Yeah, it's super.
No,
dope.
they really nailed it. And it's funny when I think about it now and I picture it without the strike through, I'm like, maybe that would feel maybe preachy or to your point, like maybe you're telling people to behave versus what it is now, which again, it's also a design element that kind of has a fun sort of like mysteriousness to it. And so it works in all those ways.
Yeah, but you are kind of behaving when you're having these. It's nice.
Well, and that's the point. The point is like we did want to, like, we still want that to be part of it, right? Like at the end of the day, our mission as a business is to remove as much sugar from the food system as possible. So like, we still want that to be a part of it. Is like, the point is you can behave without, like, the idea is that to behave, you have to never eat candy again. You have to never eat any sugar again. Don't ever have the birthday cake. Don't ever have any of this. And our point is like, no, we can like misbehave and be cheeky while like still making a good choice.
Have your gummies and eat them too.
Have your gummies and eat them too.
There
Exactly.
you go. Before we get you out of here, you know, you have You've taken to TikTok, and I think your TikTok is something that Kevin and I were looking at, and it's just wonderful because I think
thank you
are not just talking about your brand, but you're talking about your life, and a big part of that is a manifestation.
Ooh.
So Kevin and I,
let's talk about it.
Two people that we don't manifest, we just live, you know. So can you help us? Is there any hope for us? How do we get into manifestation? What do we do?
So I think it's insane for the two of you to sit here and bullshit me and say we don't manifest. I am sitting in an office.
We're just living in our lives.
Absolutely not. I refuse to accept this. Like, we are literally sitting in an office. Alex, you told me that like this is a dream building to like have a studio in. Like in the design world, it's like if you're in Greenpoint, this is the building to be in. It's
a fake story. I just make it for podcasts. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to like put you on the spot about it, but like, no, I just remember you being like, I just always felt like if I had a studio, it would be in this building. We're sitting in the building, the office with like your incredible, kind, like wonderful team member, Kevin, who you work with, doing this podcast. Like
all of our awards, our 23 awards.
You know, I just think like people there's this idea that this manifestation is so woo-woo, and that was totally me too. Like I just thought it was this like bullshit thing. Like,
I love the woo-woo shit.
Yeah.
Kevin's into woo-woo. So
so why do you feel like you don't manifest?
No,
because I'm like water.
Oh, tell me more.
It's like you know, just flow around, you know.
But that's manifesting.
Okay, all right.
Being in the like the whole manifesting.
I feel like my manifestation is maybe a bit more passive.
Yeah,
I want to get more active.
No, but the whole actually like when you're in the passive, that is when you're manifesting the most. Is when you're like not forcing anything. You're not like overly attached to things. So that's why I feel like you guys are actually manifesting probably better than a lot of these people who are like, I'm manifest. And like, I've been that person sometimes where I'm like, I'm going to manifest this, but that's not manifesting. That's like trying to control the situation and manipulate the situation, which you can't do because a lot of these things are out of your control. If you actually just like show up in the world as the person that you want to be, and maybe try to like shift your energy a little bit into the kind of person you want to become, like in a small way, then you start to take those steps to get there.
That's what I need.
I think that's like, if you're in a place where you're like, okay, I'm really comfortable here, but I want to like shift into this next thing. That's where like some of the tools can come into play of like I mean, I don't know if this will, whatever like connects for you, but like I love to do a vision board. I love to do a Pinterest mood board. I mean, you guys are brand guys.
Do we plan like future? Do we have 5-year goals? Do we like, vision board? My wife is big into vision boarding.
Yeah.
I'd rather not.
I'm not so formal about it, but like if like I'm trying to be more in the flow, but like a lot, like sometimes I'll be like sitting around on a Sunday and I'll be like, oh, I just like get the urge to like think about my life. And so I'll like pull up a Pinterest board and I'll just like add all the images that speak to me. And sometimes it's stuff that I would like never think, like it'll be like it'll be like some dog that I've like never thought of before, but I'm like, maybe I want this dog now, you know, or like random shit like that. And then I feel like with manifestation, it's not like I'm now like, okay, so what are my steps to like getting this dog? It's just like, then you just like 3 years later, you like look back at some random Pinterest board you made and you're like, wait, I like own this dog now. Like how, and I like don't even remember how it got in my house. But
How
like,
did this dog get here?
But do you guys know what I mean? Like it's obviously not that it just showed up. It's just that like, then you almost passively took the steps and like created like the opportunity for those things that you put down at some point on paper to enter your reality.
Do I
You
have
guys
to go
are
to like
looking at
some
me
sort
I'm
of
crazy.
like off-site
retreat.
cult retreat
No.
situation? Because I've seen a lot of
Do it in your
documentaries on
heart.
Netflix. And they typically turn into like Mother God, and then she's drinking silver,
My
and then she
hot
goes
take-
purple.
My hot take is that cults get such a bad rap. I think people who judge people in cults are not being honest with themselves about just how susceptible all of us are to joining cults.
Oh my
And
God.
also, we are not being realistic about how fun being in a cult would really be.
That's the funny part about being in a cult. That the
It's
first
so fun.
the first 4 episodes always look so sick. You're like,
Yeah.
oh my God, I can like learn about myself and be around
Yeah.
all these hot people.
Yeah.
And like we play volleyball
Yeah.
and like, you know, we just like go out, we don't have jobs and like we just like we're tan or there's sex and it's just like
Yeah.
fun life.
Yeah.
And-
Psychedelics,
and
everything.
yeah, drugs. It just
Yeah.
seems like the best.
Yeah.
And then ultimately something happens where the founder, you know, starts doing things nefariously or people start getting killed or
It's always the founder, though. Like if I was the founder,
I think we just
your next branding project is
Ethical
definitely
cult.
going to be my cult.
the,
Ethical
the-
cult.
the
Let's
cult
go.
of Mayssa is now the official title of the podcast.
Love
Yeah,
it.
I mean those. I agree with you. Nexium and like all these pods or all these cults. They seem pretty fun.
The Wild Wild West one?
Yeah,
Like
where you
I'm
get to wear
there.
those
The
cool
red
fits.
outfits?
Dude,
Fits
in the
were
Nexium
crazy.
one, I
I'm
was like,
so in.
maybe this ESP is, you know, maybe there's something to this. I was
No,
kind of
the
like,
way I was
I don't
into
know. I might fuck around and get into ESP.
I was
you know?
so
Yeah.
into it. And also like there's okay, I don't know if I should admit this, but like one of the manifestation things that I really love is this like meditation based workshop. And the woman who like built it and, you know,
Yeah.
runs it, I love her. I love her content.
Shiguru.
I went to a live event she hosted and she showed up in a full like white robe. Her hair is
yeah.
like, she lives now on a farm and like she's really detached, I think, from just like a lot of like the day-to-day life. Her hair is like down like past her waist and like she's such a queen. I don't think she's a cult leader. She like doesn't have that type of ego. Like she's not like, you know, sexually harassing or assaulting her followers. But she, I definitely walked in the event. I was like, oh, yeah, like I'm in a cult.
Yeah.
I am. Like I would do anything this woman told me to do.
Yeah. And you're like,
Um,
I just need to donate like 10% of my salary or, you know, to this amazing organization.
And it's
uh,
changing my life and I
yeah.
will evangelize it. No.
No, it's a shame. Yeah, those Netflix docs give cults a bad rap. Is really what
If you
we're here to
catch me
say.
in an HBO cult doc, no, you didn't.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
also-
It wasn't me. It wasn't me. No, it's true. Like people just want connections. I think
Yeah,
is really
yeah.
the thing that I always think when I'm watching
Yeah.
this. I'm like, people are so desperate.
People are,
to
we're
be
so
a part of
disconnected.
something
Yeah.
and they want to be a part of communities and they want to find other people and you know those things lead to being taken advantage of,
Yeah,
unfortunately,
brainwashing, yeah.
and brainwashing and self-help. Like everyone wants to work on themselves. Like people
Yeah.
want to be the best versions of themselves, and it's just a shame that you know they have to find their you know those cults. They seem like they
Yeah.
could be fun and like I guess like
Yeah, like if you remove like the one really creepy guy, usually usually it could have been chill.
it could have been dope. Yeah,
It
It's a lot of
Could've been
situations,
fun.
though. you know?
Yeah, if you just
Yeah,
remove-
and also, and I wonder if the dynamic of just like a lot of people coming, like young people with like resources coming together and like being really excited about something. I wonder if the dynamic almost like someone will rise into that villain position. It's almost not even like, oh, it was this. Like
Too much power.
These people are evil, but it's almost like someone will fill that spot.
Mhm.
Like it's
Yeah.
almost like the group
human
dynamic.
nature.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I don't want to say that because I don't want to be that pessimistic, but I almost wonder if the people who also like have communed, they almost want that too. So because I see it actually. Now I'm gonna sound really crazy, but this isn't crazy,
go
but
off.
yeah, let's go.
But when I spent some time in LA part of the year, and there's a temple there called the Self-Realization Fellowship. I really love like all the things that they stand for. If you've ever read the autobiography of I think it's the autobiography of a yogi. It's like this Hindu monk's book. His name was Yogananda. And anyways, he's the founder of this self-realization fellowship. It's kind of like a religious spiritual center.
Okay.
But like I just noticed that I'll meet people who I go to the center and I feel like it's very agnostic. It's very just like they'll give a talk every week and the talk will be very much of like, have gratitude or like be kind to people. Like it's very, and there's, so I love that. But sometimes when I've connected with other people there, or I've gone to some of the like, sometimes they'll do like afterwards, like hang out in the garden and I'll like meet people. There are people there who are like, want to be a religious zealot for this program that is actually built around like, there's no leader here. There's no one here for you to like, even like Yogananda's whole thing is like, he's very like kind of Buddhist and spiritual in a sense, but I'll see people who are like worshiping him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and it's almost like the point here wasn't to do this worship. The point was just to
vibe. We don't need to have a god.
We don't.
In every,
we don't always.
People.
But I think people seek that out, and I get it. I definitely do get it.
They just want to have someone to like look to, and then that person takes advantage.
But the God is inside of us.
Yeah, it's all inside of us.
It's all inside of us.
That's really beautiful.
Okay. This took a turn for the kookier.
Well, maybe this is the place where we manifest, sort of viewers and listeners and sort of patrons. Where can people find
Guys,
you?
I'm manifesting that one of our clips from this just hits.
Well, then here.
Let's see if manifestation is real. You heard it here first.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Your hottest take. Let's go.
Oh, on the spot. We
don't have to do it. Thank you.
I wasn't ready for that.
No. Where can the kids find you on the internet?
So we're Eat Behave on Instagram, TikTok, and our website is eatbehave.com. I am at Mayssa on Instagram and at Mayssa Chehata on TikTok.
Great follows on both platforms. Go follow, go eat some candy, and go manifest your future.
We're manifesting.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks, guys.
And we'll see you.
This is fun.
Peace.